I shouldn't have to say this. Black Lives Matter. This does not mean that Black Lives matter more than anyone else's lives. It means that Black Lives Matter, too. We have to say this because of the underrepresentation of Black folks in society, because the voices of Black folks and the experiences of Black folks are minimized or simply just not included in society's story. Let's take pop culture for example. How many times have you seen a movie trailer and only white faces appear on screen, but upon watching the film, it becomes clear that there are prominent Black characters in the story, played by famous Black actors and actresses? If you haven't noticed, I have. It happens quite often. The first time I watched the movie Contact, starring Jodie Foster and Matthew McConaughey, I had no idea that Angela Bassett, an extremely talented and accomplished Black actress, was even in the movie. And not only was she in the movie, she was a rather important character, playing a role that drove the plot forward throughout the second half of the film. Why then wasn't she in the trailer? Here's another example. How many of us were surprised to see Morgan Freeman appear as Batman's gadget guy in the Batman trilogy directed by Chris Nolan? To go a little further, how many times have we seen Morgan Freeman or Samuel L. Jackson pop up in a movie starring white actors and thought, I didn't know he was even gonna be in this? Too many times for me. Even though we just got started and I want to go a little deeper than just looking at pop culture, I must admit I'm already exhausted reading this. However, before I move on to my next point, I'd like to look at a couple more examples detailing how Blackness is diminished in the movie industry. First, the next time you see a movie poster for a film with a Black character in it, take a gander at where the Black actors are. Here's a hint. It's usually to the side or in the back. Imagine growing up, as I did, seeing yourself continually being literally and figuratively pushed as far out of the picture as possible, but still being included only to say that you've been included. And oftentimes, this push to the back Black character has few meaningful lines if they even speak at all. Why even put a Black person in the film if they're not actually going to really be in the film? It's demeaning and insulting and teaches you as a Black person that even though you've been included, that you really actually don't belong. And finally, this one is more of a question than an example. How many films or TV shows with a mixed cast can you remember where the lead was a Black person that wasn't a comedian, athlete, or action hero? Probably not many. This is because there is an assumption, perhaps a correct one, by movie studios that non-Black moviegoers will not show up at the box office to watch stories about regular Black people. And this, my generous listener, is how stories about Black people never get told for everybody to see. We are diminished, removed, silenced, and rendered invisible. Examples like these teach us that Black people and our experiences don't matter because if they did, then Black folks wouldn't need to be sidelined, left out, or not represented. This is not only unfair, but works to create a narrow-minded view of who we as Black people are, because you never get the full story, just a snippet afforded by being a sidekick. If you are a white person or a non-Black person of color reading this, and this is a revelation for you, then I would like you to ask yourself, why haven't I noticed this before? I shouldn't have to do this.